The United States and Iran are trading new verbal volleys as tensions in the Persian Gulf remain high. President Trump tweeted overnight that, quote, if Iran wants to fight, that will be the official end of Iran. Today, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif dismissed the warning. He tweeted, try respect, it works. Iran also announced that it has quadrupled production of enriched uranium, but remains within the limits of the 2015 nuclear accord. The president today ordered former White House counsel Don McGahn not to testify about the Mueller report to Congress. The U.S. House Judiciary Committee subpoenaed McGahn, but the Justice Department ruled that top presidential advisors cannot be compelled to testify. Meanwhile, a federal judge in Washington upheld another congressional subpoena for the president's business and financial records. The U.S. trade fight with China landed a new blow today on the Chinese tech giant Huawei. Google confirmed that many services on its Android operating system will no longer be updated on Huawei smartphones. That is after the U.S. government curbed transactions with Huawei over fears that it helps Beijing spy. Meanwhile, the U.S. again sent a Navy warship, a destroyer, past Scarborough Shoal, disputing China's claim to that part of the South China Sea. In Ukraine, TV comedian Volodymyr Zelensky was inaugurated as president today after winning a landslide vote last month. He took the oath of office before Parliament in Kiev this morning. And then, speaking in both Russian and Ukrainian, he called for a ceasefire with separatists in eastern Ukraine and for Russia to return Crimea.
Frankly speaking, it seems it is impossible to lose what belongs to us by law. Both Crimea and Donbass are Ukrainian land where we lost not only territories, but most importantly, people. They are not strangers, they are our people. They are Ukrainians.
Zelensky also announced that he would dissolve Parliament, and he called for a snap election. A scandal embroiling Austria's far-right Freedom Party deepened today. The chancellor called for his interior minister to quit after the vice chancellor resigned. Both are Freedom Party leaders. A secret video allegedly shows the vice chancellor promising contracts to a Russian benefactor if she buys an Austrian newspaper and backs the party. In Australia, Conservative Prime Minister Scott Morrison is poised to form a majority government after a stunning election victory. His coalition badly beat the opposition Labour Party, which was widely expected to win. Labour pushed an ambitious plan to curb greenhouse gas emissions. Back in this country, the new mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, was sworn in today, promising to fight corruption and violence. Lightfoot is the first black, openly gay woman to lead the city. She took the oath of office in a 10,000-seat arena, and supporters cheered as she vowed to clean up City Hall.
You voted for change, and I plan to deliver change to our government. That means restoring trust in our city's government and finally bringing some real integrity to the way this city works.
The new mayor also pledged to restore peace and security. Chicago had 561 homicides last year. That's more than New York and Los Angeles combined. A Guatemalan teenager has died at a U.S. Border Patrol station in South Texas. It is the fifth time since December that a migrant child died after being apprehended. The agency says the 16-year-old boy was detained a week ago and was found dead this morning. There's no word on the cause. Automaker Ford said today it is cutting 7,000 white-collar jobs worldwide, about 10% of its salaried workforce. The total includes some 2,300 positions in the U.S., mostly around Dearborn, Michigan. It's part of a restructuring that's designed to save $600 million per year. President Trump today denied that there is anything suspicious about his dealings with Deutsche Bank. The New York Times reported that bank specialists flagged transactions involving Mr. Trump and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as possible money laundering. The report said that bank executives decided against alerting federal authorities. The president tweeted that any such story is phony. A key regulator has endorsed T-Mobile's takeover of rival Sprint for $26.5 billion. The chair of the Federal Communications Commission, Ajit Pai, announced it today. He said the wireless carriers committed to build a 5G next-generation broadband network within 6 years. The merger still needs approval from the full FCC and the Justice Department. And on Wall Street, those U.S. actions against Huawei sent tech stocks and the broader market lower. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 84 points to close below 25,680. The Nasdaq fell nearly 114, and the S&P 500 slipped 19. Still to come on the NewsHour, my interview with former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper. Undocumented immigrants brought to the U.S. as children and deported to countries they barely remember. A devastating Ebola outbreak could get worse as doctors threaten to go on strike, and much more.